Essentially, yeah, they've allowed these competitors to come from the back and to build much more comprehensive artificial intelligence around voice than what they're able to offer the market. So are they? Do you see Apple re-entering the voice market with a new device, or
No, but it's alright. So I think firstly, it would be naive of us to think that Apple, being the first trillion-dollar company, are getting left behind in anything. Like, I'm sure they got their fingers in pies to some degree, but from a surface level, from a consumer level, I think what did you say? Google and Amazon are collecting the data, which is true, but what they don't have and what they can't replace is the mobile devices. And this is where Apple and Samsung, like, they have the hardware. So yeah, you've got devices in people's homes, but what percentage of the day is spent in the home? The majority of the percentage of the day that's spent in the home is sleeping. Do you know what I mean? I know I was speaking to someone this week about an app, a new app that's been developed, which blocks touch points on a phone, right? So where people are typing into like Apple messages and stuff, Apple are capturing that data. So yeah, they're not listening to you per se, but they know exactly what you're typing based on you using their keyboard.
So it doesn't matter if there's encryption from point A to point B, because we don't need to read your message. We know what you've typed in.
And I'm sure in terms of the disclaimers in the contracts that you're agreeing to, do you know what I mean? That's the loophole there. Like, it would make perfect sense. So yeah, I think they're capturing data. Even so, let's say Facebook and Google and Amazon take a march in terms of the voice thing. At some point in time, that this voice application is gonna need to interface with a mobile device. When I say a mobile device, it might still be a smartphone, or it might be something more integrated or wearable in terms of the tech or whatever it is, but it's going to need to come with the consumer, with the person. And just being in the home isn't going to be enough. So this is where Apple are like, okay, cool, come holler at us when you're ready. When you've developed a viable application and you've collected all this data, we're the ones that have this mobile interface. Do you know what I mean?
I think I agree with you to some extent, but I think that my personal viewpoint is the future of voice is in IoT. So I actually don't think the mobile device is necessary. I think all that's happened is the devices in the house haven't quite caught up to it. But I think once your voice device is synced up with your smart TV, you won't use your mobile anymore when it comes to voice. That's the whole point. The whole point is I don't need to do this, that. I can literally just talk, and I'm seeing what I say kind of manifest.
What percentage of the time do you spend in front of the TV?
In front of my TV?
How many hours a day are you in front of the TV?
No, normally I'm on the weekends. I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours.
Alright, and during the week?
Half an hour.
Alright, let's juxtapose that with your phone. The new have you seen the new iOS? Is it 12? I want to say 12. I'm always late with updating the iOS on my devices, man. I always let the people do the troubleshooting for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, the first update's always a bit buggy, and then people they sort it out. So yeah, I think it's 12. But anyway, they've included screen time in the settings, so now you can see how long you've been viewing your screen in any given day, and it counts it in hours and minutes and stuff. Like, proper, I don't know if it's a gift or a curse or a bit of both, but you can see how long you've been on your phone on a daily basis, and it's kind of scary.
No, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to for 1 minute say that IoT is going to replace the mobile phone. You're absolutely right. Obviously the mobile devices, they're the input device of choice for the foreseeable future, which kind of goes on to another conversation I wanted to have with you about iWatches, because
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Do that.
Yeah, is it not called iWatch?
Nah.
Do they not have the thingy for iWatch or something? I bet they don't have the.
I don't know.
It probably was called the iWatch.
It's what the people were calling it, but then when it launched, it was Apple Watch.
That means someone else has got the trademark on iWatch. 'Cause I can't imagine there'd be any other reason they wouldn't call it the iWatch. It rolls off the tongue. But anyway, so this goes in for the conversation with Apple Watch, where essentially I want to say is this really a thing or is it a fad? Is it a thing or is it a fad? That's the question.
What, wearable tech?
Well, the iWatch, the Apple Watch in particular. Is it a thing or a fad?
Well, they're on Series 4 now. So I think if it was a complete flop, they would have probably stopped production. I don't know, but
definitely not saying it's a flop, but is it a thing or is it a fad? I mean, do you see... I struggle to see it lasting. I don't see it going the distance.
You know what? I like when the Series 3 came out and it was you can now have telephone conversations with your phone, with your watch, and you don't need your phone. That was like, yeah, this is that Back to the Future shit we've been waiting for. Do you get me? So that's when I said, okay, it's now viable. I want to buy this thing. But I think, well, I know the reason I didn't at the time was because it was only open to the EE network, I think. And I was like, I'm not going to get another contract on another network provider to get the watch. So let me wait until it opens up.